Hey guys, Will here, and in this video we are going to take a look at what is inside my pack here. This pack right here is a 19-pound base weight currently. If I take away my fishing stuff and much of my electronics, it becomes a 15-pound pack. If I take away my camp shoes here, my stove, cook system, and some other non-essential items, I can get it down to a 10 to 12-pound base weight. However, this pack is packed with what I have recently taken out on some of my recent Uinta trips, and this is what I will continue to pack if there's fish to be caught. If there's not fish to be caught, the fishing stuff stays home and it becomes a 17-pound pack. And that is the style of backpacking I like to do. If I don't have a lot of miles put in a day, I like to have some comforts with me for in and around camp. I have broken my gear down into 9 different categories, so I will be showing them in categories, and I will be putting the weights of each item and their names listed on screen so that you guys can keep track of the weight and where all the weight is going. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The big 3 plus accessories. So starting off with the first item in my big 3 category, let's look at my pack. This pack is what I just picked up this spring. It is a ULA circuit. I've had it out on 3 trips so far, the last week being the most strenuous with it, and is performing like a champ. Next up is my tent. And this is the tarp tent notch that I have. I've done an extensive video on it in the past. Great tent. And then the third item of my big 3 is my sleeping bag, which is the REI Magma 30. Proving to be a great purchase for me this last spring. It weighs in at 18 ounces. That's amazing. That's almost as lightweight as a quilt. Staying within the category of the big 3, to go along with the sleeping bag, we have my sleeping pad. This is the Thermarest Neo Air. Everyone knows about these. I'm enjoying it so far. It's only 12 ounces. Now technically this is a 4th item to make it a big 4, but because it does pair with your sleeping bag and becomes a system, it's still actually considered part of the big 3. Now, if we stop there for the big 3, we're looking at 6.25 pounds or right about there. But I have a few little accessory items that make the big 3 just function a little bit better for me. To go along with that sleeping pad is a little DIY inflator I have here, and that fits really well around my Thermarest Neo Air valve. To also go along with the pad is my pillow. This is a Trekology Aloof Pillow 2.0. Love this thing. Has a little strap that goes around the pad, helps secure it to the pad, keeps it in place. Now to go with my tent, I have this new little ground cloth I've made specific for my tarp tent notch. This is made from some leftover house wrap from the playhouse I recently built for my kids. And it's kind of like a thin, very lightweight tarp material. It's got the woven plastic strands through it. And I find this is a happy medium between the ultralightness of the polycro window film that a lot of ultralighters like to use and the durability of Tyvek. Also go tent. Another accessory item, not absolutely essential, as I found out this last week when I left these in my car because they fell out of the pocket in my pack, is my tent stakes. I carry 8 little MSR Groundhog Minis. And then lastly, to go along with the big 3 as another little accessory item is a roll top Dyneema DCF bag that I recently made. And this is what I use as a pack liner. I will stuff my sleeping bag in here, the clothing that I sleep in, which we'll get into in a second here, and my sleeping pad. So the total weight of my big 3 system plus the accessories to go with it comes out to be 7 pounds. Now let's move on to the next category, my clothing. First up in clothing is extra undies. That's right. Every mom out there says you gotta take clean underwear, right? Make sure you have clean underwear. Well, gotta follow that advice. So these are just some generic synthetic boxer briefs. I think got them at Walmart. Athletic Works is the brand, and hey, just good to have clean underwear. What else can you say, right? For sleeping, I like to take this merino brand long sleeve merino wool shirt. For pants that I like to sleep in and wear around camp in the mornings occasionally is my Terramar brand fleece pants here. These are kind of like a thermal base layer, but they are loose fitting, and they just super comfortable sleeping pants. I love them. And for sleeping, because my feet get pretty cold at night, I like to take a pair of boot style socks. These are some thick wool blend socks. This is just a generic pair. Again, I got these off Amazon. I do like to carry an extra pair of hiking socks. These are a pair of Darn Tough brand hiking socks. All right, jacket time. So as of this year, I've started carrying this Frog Togs Extreme Light jacket. It's a switch I made with the old standard Frog Togs jacket that more people are familiar with. But it does open up and serves as a fantastic little ultralight rain jacket, as well as wind jacket if I'm up on the high ridges and the summits, or just anywhere out in the meadow where it's really windy. This is also a nice little wind barrier as well. All right, next jacket, my puffy. This is a Mammut broad peak hooded down jacket. It's 800 fill, and I'm just excited to have it. I've again, new product this year for me, and I'm loving it. Bright yellow and everything. Now for the extra chilly nights and mornings, I have back here a beanie and some gloves. For my beanie is a Black Rock Gear merino wool beanie. I usually like to sleep with this often, and again, just wake up with it, keep my head warm, but definitely another little comfort item I like to sleep with. So, and then I have these little liner gloves, lightweight liner gloves. They are Manzella brand, and I like to again just wear these on the chilly mornings, or if it gets super chilly at night, I'll even slip these on, just keep my hands warm, because my hands are prone to get real cold, just like my feet. I'm a skinny guy, that's my genetics. I like to just be warm. Something else that's part of this clothing system is my little roll top DCF bag here that I actually use to store my hoodie, beanie, and gloves in. And then I just roll that down, close it up. That way they're protected in their own little waterproof bag. And then I can just rip this out of my pack if I ever find myself in a situation before I get to camp where I just want to be warmer. So this is nice and convenient for keeping my puffy and beanie and gloves separate from the rest of my sleeping gear. And then lastly for my clothing is another very much luxury item here. Shoes, extra shoes. These are what I like to use for camp shoes. They are very good water shoes as well. They are 11 ounces, so not the lightest weight option out there, but definitely worth it for me. All right, guys, that's my clothing system, and the total weight for all of that comes out to be 3.34 pounds. On to category number 3, hydration. Now, my hydration system is very simple. It's only got 4 items in it. First up is my filtration system here. I carry the Ceanoc Vecto bag here. It's a 2-liter, and this I use to collect dirty water in, and then I have a little paracord line on it here that I use to slip the bag up and over branches as I can find them, or anything else I can hang the bag on, to do a gravity feed. And to do that, I made it with a Hydro Blue VersaFlow. It's one I've been taking out lately. Love the Sawyer filters as well. I kind of alternate a lot back and forth between them. I carry with me 2 different water bottles here. Both these happen to be Smartwater bottles. They could also be a Life Water brand or a few other brands' bottles with similar style threads and sport tops. And what more can I say? I carry the 1 liter bottle just as like an extra bottle for camp. I generally don't need to fill this up for the trail, so it sits empty on the backside pocket of my pack. And then for on-trail use, I have the 24-ounce version of the bottle with the sport top, and this I've been loving with my new ULA circuit pack. It has the little straps on there already that allow me to put the bottle on my shoulder there. Makes it convenient for drinking. That's my water system, and altogether it comes out to just a hair under half a pound. It is 0.49 pounds. All right, on to category number 4, health and safety. First item in this group is my first aid kit. I carry it in this little red zip top pack. Also, part of my safety is my inReach. I could include this in my electronics category, which we'll get to here toward the end of the video, but this is definitely a safety item for me. I am solo a lot, and this just gives me huge peace of mind. Also, part of my little safety kit that I usually clip on to shoulder strap of my pack, it's just a little Fox safety whistle here. It's the Fox 40 Micro. I have sun protection. Yeah, I consider this a health and safety item because you definitely want to protect yourself from the harmful UV rays of the sun, especially when you're in higher elevations in the mountains, like I am up in the high Uintas on those sorts of trips. So definitely important to have sunburn protection, in my opinion. So I've been trying out this sunscreen on a stick. This is a Banana Boat brand I just found at my local supermarket. And then I also carry a little thing of chapstick with sunscreen in it as well. And of course that's just to protect my lips, keep them from getting too dry, too chapped, and to protect them from the sun as well. And then for bug protection, carry a couple items along for that as well. Especially early in the summer out here when mosquitoes can be horrendous when they hatch as the snow melts out. And that is the Sawyer Picardin insect repellent that I like to carry. This is great for mosquitoes and ticks. And then I also carry a little Sea to Summit insect shield mosquito head net. I do like to treat my clothing and my tent with permethrin at least once a season, early in the season. As the summer goes on, the threat of mosquitoes and other bugs like that do go down. So I find myself especially not needing the mosquito net later in the season, but I will still take the Picardin. So my total weight for my health and safety items, including consumables, is 1.59 pounds. Category number 5, hygiene. So for hygiene, I do have a little blue zip bag here that I carry. In it is a little pocket-sized microfiber towel. I do carry a little bit of, just a little small squirt bottle of Dr. Bronner's soap. Then I carry a little travel-sized toothbrush. Then I've got a little travel tube of toothpaste. This happens to be a brand called Tom's. It's supposed to be all natural ingredients. Not sure if that equates to biodegradable or not. I do carry a tiny little travel thing of floss, just some Oral-B Glide stuff here. And then I also happen to just carry a little thing of Blink tears for my eyes. All right, to go along with the hygiene, I do carry a little travel pack of Kleenex tissues. These ride down in my hip belt pocket along with a little travel size bottle of hand sanitizer. And I also put in my sunscreen and chapstick in my hip belt pocket as well. And then lastly, part of my hygiene, of course, is a little poop kit. I carry this in a little roll top dry bag from Outdoor Products, what you can get at Walmart, and just what I have around the house. And inside I have my little Vargo titanium trowel. So not a deuce of spades. Maybe I'll try that at some point. But this so far is light enough and getting the job done for me. Super sturdy, and you know, what can I say? Gets the job done. And then I carry a little Ziploc of just a small little roll of toilet paper that I just roll up off the roll at home and make sure I have just sufficient enough to get me through a trip or two at a time. And then lastly, I will carry an extra Ziploc inside to carry out toilet paper, especially in areas where burying toilet paper is not as appropriate. That would be in the high alpine areas, or especially in the deserts as well. So my total weight for my hygiene items, including consumables, comes out to be 0.8 pounds. Category number 6, my cook kit here. Now for my cook kit, I carry it all in this old little Tech Sport cheapo blue stuff sack here. It just seems to be a perfect size, something I had lying in my old gear collection here, and works well for this cook kit that I have. So I have all that inside a DIY cozy here, pot cozy that I've made. And inside that is, first off, my Sea to Summit X Cup. Love this little thing. Collapses real nice. And it's what I use for measuring my liquids. It's what I use for drinking hot chocolate or any other hot drink while in camp. For my pot here, I use a Toke's 700 milliliter pot. I just like the wider width of it for quicker boil times, and also a perfect size for rehydrating meals and eating my meals out of, which I do a lot of. Inside the pot here is my little titanium spork, and this happens to be by Timber Brother. Got this off Amazon. I know Toke's makes them too. Also a canister of fuel inside, and a mini Bic lighter, and of course my little stove here. This happens to be the BRS 3000 that a lot of people know about. It's the real popular ultralight stove available on Amazon. I like it. Now I will sometimes alternate between the canister stove and like an alcohol setup. I have a Vargo Triad alcohol stove and really enjoy that thing too for other reasons, other benefits. Sometimes the canister stove just makes sense, especially if there's fire restrictions. It's been a hot, dry year like it has been this year. It just makes sense to go with the safer canister option. For my cook kit, including a full fuel canister, the weight comes out to be 0.97 pounds. Category number 7, my tools and utilities. First off is hard to fit it in any other category, so it's not quite a tool, but I guess you could think of it as a tool. And that is my food bag. This is a little DIY Dyneema DCF roll top bag that I sewed up recently this last year, and have been using it for my food bag now. I am not sure the actual capacity on it, but I know I can fairly comfortably fit 5 days worth of food in here. And Inside, I have a little bear hang kit that I usually just keep in it at all times. I carry a little case for my glasses here. I do have prescription glasses, so I will carry these inside my pack with my glasses, or hang them on the outside of my pack somewhere, and then I'll swap them out at night in camp for my sunglasses. And yeah, for a knife, I do carry a little multi-tool here. This is the Gerber Dime. Just a really small, compact multi-tool here. I have used these pliers a few times, so those have been handy to have. And yeah. Now this may seem redundant, but I do also carry an additional knife. This is a Light My Fire brand fire knife. It's a Mora blade on there. Mora of Sweden, I believe. Yep. And it's also got a little fire steel in it. So that's just kind of a little luxury comfort, peace of mind item that I carry with me. Even though I don't use it very often on most of my trips, I did use it for something very important on my last trip. Like I mentioned, my tent stakes fell out of my pack somehow while in my car, and I didn't notice it when I left the trailhead. So I had to create my own stakes out of some wood and sticks that I gathered up around camp, and I was able to use this guy to, you know, whittle down some little sharp point edges to help get the sticks into the ground. So this was very well worth having on my last trip, and for that reason it will continue to go with me on most of my trips to come. And then lastly, these could be considered clothing, a redundant pair of gloves, but I like to see them as a tool, and that is some little utility gloves. These have the cloth backing on them with like a silicone rubberized palm to them, and these are Hardy brand from Harbor Freight. And the reason why I carry these lately now is for scrambling, boulder scrambling. If I'm up, especially up in the Uintas, the last route that I just did involved a couple off-trail passes, so I was scrambling up boulders, climbing up through them, and it's nice to have the extra grip and protection that these gloves afforded me. There's also a lot of thistle, that thorny thistle plant that can grow in patches up there in those high ridges as well. And so if I accidentally slip on a little rock or scree and I have to catch myself with my hand, I'm going to want these on and not my bare hand going into a thorny thistle plant. And the total weight on my tools and utilities comes out to be 0.94 pounds. Category number 8, my electronics. First item in that category has got to be my phone. I've got it contained in a case. It came with this cool little holster here, clip-on holster, and that makes it super convenient for clipping it onto my sternum or chest strap on my pack, so that it's easy to access and just have it right there. It gets used for mapping and GPS locating, making sure I'm on my route. Obviously use it for photography, for video. I take a lot of B-roll clips with it. I will also pair it with my InReach. I will also download videos from YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, services like that at times for certain trips to watch movies and videos on it. Definitely an essential piece of equipment out of all my electronics. And speaking of taking pictures, I have a Sony RX100 I like to use now, and that is what I've been taking out for, especially for nighttime shots, long exposures, more specialty photography type shots right now. But I do carry it in this case, and this clips on to the lower end of the one of my shoulder straps on my pack. Now also, to go along with my photography and videography equipment, I have a GoPro Hero 8. This is what I use to take a lot of my trail footage with. I will secured on my stick, hiking pole that is, and I guess at that point it becomes more like a wearable item because it's actually not on my pack. To go along with the GoPro and the Sony that I will use between the two is my little Pedco UltraPod mini tripod. This thing is great, as you can see, super compact, super lightweight. To go along with my Sony camera, I do also carry this little kit of lenses. It's mostly ND filters, actually, not lenses but filters, and I will use those for broad daylight shots where I still want to get a long exposure of like a stream, waterfall, things of that nature. The ND filters definitely come in handy for that. And then I have a little another little DCF roll top bag here that I had some leftover material for, so I made this little bag, and I now carry my electronics in that as a way to help protect them from water and moisture. And these are just some additional little accessories for my electronics along with my flashlight. So I do have a black diamond spot for my flashlight, or a headlamp that is. I carry a little lens brush here for my cameras and filters. I carry a little Anker 10,000 milliamp charger for charging my phone at night, as well as my camera at times. But I do carry some extra batteries. So speaking of extra batteries, I have some little GoPro batteries that I usually carry, about 1 to 2 per day. I only have 5 batteries though, so once I max out my 5 batteries, I will just charge them up off my Anker charger if I need to. I also carry a few extra batteries for my Sony camera. They look like this. Then I've got a couple little charger cables. One of them is a USB 3 for my phone, for my GoPro. The other is just standard micro micro USB, which gets used on my Sony camera as well as my InReach if I need to charge that up at all. Carry a pair of little headphones here that came with my phone, so these are little Samsung headphones. And then, while not specifically an electronic item, I do carry a little pair of earplugs with my kit, just for the nights where it's really windy, beating on my tent, and really loud. It's nice to muffle that sound with the earplugs, or if there's just lots of little creatures running around at night around the tent, and it's just keeping you up. Nice to have these to help me get a little extra sleep. So that rounds out all my electronics, and it does add up quite a bit there to 3.42 pounds. All right, category number 9, the final category. The truly non-essential luxury items. One of those items is my sit pad. This is something I got from Dutchware Gear. Super ultra light little closed cell foam sit pad. Not only do I use it as a sit pad, but I like to kneel on it on my knees to give my knees something soft to kneel on when I am setting up my sleeping pad, my sleeping bag, and just setting up the inside of my tent for the night, or when I'm packing up stuff as well. Love having this thing. Now, I have something else that pairs well with it, and that is this little seat back that I've made myself. I had some extra material from another project and used some sil nylon, I think it is, with some other little material in it. And this is just something I made to give myself some back support when I'm sitting down in camp. So I'm not a fly fisherman, so I'm still rocking the spinner reel system here. And for that, I have a 7-foot long extending telescopic pole here, which is nice and easy to pack and extend when I'm ready to fish. It's a Quantum brand, and then I've got a Quantum Optics 10 lightweight compact reel on here, and that is my fishing pole and reel. Let me go along with that. I've been carrying a net lately. This is called the Measure Net. It has some measure markings in there. I did not buy it for the measure markings, so that's kind of cool. I really got it just for the material. It's this nice soft silicone rubbery material for the mesh on it, and that just makes it a lot softer and gentler on the trout that I like to catch. I recently picked up this Outdoor Products fanny pack at Walmart here, and I just thought that would be convenient for holding my tackle kit here. So I've got a little tackle box, and inside that I've just got some flies, a variety of flies, a few different lures in there, and then some beads and swivels. And then just a little necklace here with some clippers on it and a line straightener. Now lastly, to go along with the fanny pack here is this little water bottle sleeve that I found on Amazon. It's a Gonex brand, and it just has a little belt loop on it, which is why I got it. So it can strap into this fanny pack strap, and I can carry a little water bottle in there and cinch it down, hold it in snug. It seems to have a little material that might even insulate it a little bit. But that makes this a handy little setup as well for like peak bagging or a little summit pack. Even if I'm not fishing, I can put in my snacks, first aid kit, other little daily essentials in here, and water bottle, and I can just throw this around my waist and go out wandering, exploring, hit a peak if I want. To take those final little luxury items, the total weight of those comes out to be 2.29 pounds. So that's it, guys. That is my summertime backpacking gear and the options I have for a lighter load to a more leisure luxury load. Hope you guys found that informative, helpful, give you some ideas for what kind of gear you might enjoy. I will place links in the description below for all of the items that I can that are available to you through Amazon or other retailers. And yeah, if you like this kind of content and like my other videos, please give me a thumbs up here, and go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, happy hiking.